it's great speaking with you, but I'll tell you something, man. It kind of blew my mind away a few days ago. I'm going through my Facebook, because you and I are Facebook friends, and I saw something that sort of made my jaw drop. GODDO, retirement, concert, what the hell? Explain, please.
You know, I can't really get into the complete nitty-gritty of what this is all about, but let's put it this way. Some of the guys in the trio want to play. Some of the guys in the trio don't want to play. So you have a tricycle and one of the wheels falls off. It doesn't automatically make it a bicycle. So we just figured we've done everything we set out to do. I have no intentions of packing it in. I've already got the guys lined up for my next band. And quite frankly, I'm just basically retiring the brand.
Okay, because, I'm thinking to myself, look, the Elmer Combo's coming back. I'm figuring Gospel's probably going to be performing there, and now I'm going, wait a minute, this is not going to happen. What the heck?
Yeah, well, this is the funny thing, and a lot of people, and God bless all the people that have supported me in the band all these years, but, I've been doing the same 35 songs for the last 40 years. And quite frankly, I've written, and recorded like 150 songs, and recorded 150 of my songs, and I've written about 300. I'd really like to play some of those other songs before I pack it in for real.
Okay, and I get that, but we're selfish. We love those 35 songs, my friend. I mean, that...
Well, okay, I understand the concept, and I love the fact that I've, managed to make a living playing those songs. But, at the same point, as an artistic guy and a, God, I'm only 67, I'm just getting started, So I just... There's just other songs and other styles of music outside of the trio format. I want a keyboard player, and I want a sax player, and I want, I hear a flute once in a while or strings or something. I just want to, as I am getting older, I want to broaden my musical perspective.
Okay, well, that's completely understandable, but at the same time, you always still got to remember, man, I mean, we grew up with GODDO. GODDO represented Toronto. Even though you guys are from Scarborough, it's still the GTA.
Okay, now listen, I know where you're going with this. The analogy is going to be far-fetched, but if you went to see Paul McCartney and if he just played Wings and Beyond songs, you go, hey, hang on a second. I mean, of course he's going to play some Beatles songs. And by the same token, of course, I can't get away from Under My Hat. I can't get away from Sweet Thing. I can't get away from about 6 of them that I have to play. But the funny thing is I've already had a rehearsal with the guys from the new band. And, of course, they know those songs, but boy, do they sound energized and different, and yet the core of the song. I guess what I'm doing is I'm going to become Bob Dylan.
Gotcha.
I'm going to reinvent the wheel, I mean, every time you see Dylan, he's got a different slant on his own songs. I just want to explore,
Well, and anybody who is in the arts and creative completely understands that. I mean, it doesn't matter the age or anything. You have to grow. That's just the way an artist is. So before we talk about what we can expect from the new band, what can we expect? When is this show happening? Because I do believe it's happening on Saturday. And where?
Saturday the 15th, which is a couple days from now. I don't know when this is going to air, but it'll be this Saturday the 15th at Phoenix. Our good friend Tony Springer, Wild Tea and the Spirit's going to play with us. We got some special guests coming from our past. I want every time, I mean, we've broken up a couple of times in the past. We're the Who of Toronto. This one's going to stick, unfortunately, or fortunately, as the case may be. But, we always sort of we went out with a whimper instead of a bang,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I want to go out this time with a bit more of a bang. Now, granted, Gino hasn't played with me in 3 years, and people keep going, terrible that he's not there. Well, things happen, but his kid's there. I remember when we gave him his first guitar when he was 4, and now he plays exactly like his dad did back in the heyday,
Wow.
And nobody seems to mind, I mean, once they see it, they go, wow, that's Gino's kid. That works, And Doug doesn't want to play anymore. So I got Marty Morin, who happens to be GODDO's first drummer for real.
Wow.
So it's almost like a 360, But I still wanted to do the show regardless of Doug and Gino not being there for the legacy. aspect, and because the Torontonian fans said, "How dare you not play a Toronto show?" So, come on out, enjoy it. It's going to be, it's funny, out of the thousands of gigs we had in the last 44 years, I'm the only guy that was at every one of them.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm the only guy that could say that. I was at every single GODDO show, but there's not a lot of, there's nobody else can say that.
Wow.
But I'll be there on Saturday.
What's the new band going to be like, and when are you going to release new music with the new band?
Well, I made a record with Paul Dean about 3 years ago when I was in Calgary, because Paul and I were putting a band together, and he said, "These are the best songs you've ever written, ever." So we went in the studio before he split to go live in Vancouver, and I got the Top Gun musicians in Calgary and made this record called Amuse Me. And that's where I'm going to start musically with the new band. We're going to learn the entire 11 songs on Amuse Me. And then the 6 GODDO songs. And then some of the stuff I wrote for the Carpet Frogs and the Anger Brothers. Very poppy Beatle kind of music. Harmonies,
And so looking forward to it. Look,
yeah, me too, man. I mean, I'm excited about it, I'm going to take a little time off. I'm going to take my time putting this band together. And it'll probably be the Greg Godovitz group. I envy Kim Mitchell what he did. He did what I should have done at the right time. Max was at the peak of their game, Max Webster. He goes on to have a solo career that eclipsed anything Max did. And I think about, the way I approached recording using horns and strings and all the rest of that stuff. I should have done this years ago.
Well, we're just glad you're doing it, man. That's the important thing.
Yeah, cool. Are you coming to the show?
I'm going to be down there for the show. What time's the show open up? What time?
Tony Springer's on at 8 o'clock. I want to get you a copy of Amuse Me, though, so you can see exactly what I mean. Because when I told Paul Dean what I was doing, he went, "About time you did this." And he goes, "And you're going to do the stuff from our album, right?" And I went, "Damn right I am." I mean, it's a pretty good record we made. A couple of old farts.
Never old, my friend. Look, before we go, though, 2 things. One, how do you want the legacy to be remembered of GODDO? Because, like I said, groundbreaking, and what a way to represent the GTA.
Well, I'd have to say, and this is sort of my usual flippant response, but, there's a lot of children that were conceived to our music running around doing good things out there. So I think there's a lot of girls named Chantel out there that are, if they're not, strippers, they're doing, veterinary work or something. So, I think we made our contribution. People liked the music enough that they got married to it. They had children to it. They named their children after it. And I just hope that all those kids are, useful contributors to our wonderful Canadian society.
The other thing is, it's not even so much as a question, it's more of a statement. I'll tell you something, my friend. Growing up and watching City TV, the new music, I can't remember a time when I did not see an interview with GODDO on the new music. That, to me, is part of legacy.
Well, it was my big mouth that made us famous. So, it's sort of weird when you're not really known for your songs, but your reputation,
Look, man, just thank you for everything you've done. Thank you for the friendship. Thank you for what you've done for the city. Thank you what you've done for Canadian music. And more importantly, thank you for letting people know just because one chapter closes doesn't mean that the story ends, and you're continuing the story. And that's the greatest part of all.
Well, it's funny. Last night we went to hear Eddie Kramer's Become a Friend, and he had the world premiere of he just remixed Electric Ladyland in 5.1. So a bunch of us went down to this phenomenal facility where they do all the IMAX soundtracks, and Alex Lifeson was there, and we're old friends, and I said, Alex, can you imagine when we started out, they painted us on the side of a building downtown, and we were laughing about it, going, yeah, I mean, you start playing guitar for, probably the wrong reasons, meet chicks, and it ends up 50 years later, they stick your mug on the side of the building with Ronnie Hawkins and Oscar Peterson.
Yeah, that's legacy, my friend.
That's legacy enough for me, And I'm not saying this with any ego, man. This whole thing freaks me out, too. If somebody had told me that this stuff would happen when I started playing music in 1964, I would have said, yeah, right. You know?
And you see, and that's one of the biggest reasons why, man, I have so much respect for you, because it was never about ego. It was always about what you enjoyed and letting us enjoy that with you.
Yeah,
Thank you for that.
Thank you, man. Okay, well, anybody that's listening, you know, hope you come out to the show and stay tuned for Phase 2 at 68 years old.
Looking forward to it, my friend. Look, I'll see you on Saturday, and thank you so much
come
for being
backstage.
with me, man.
Okay.
You got it. Take care. Bye-bye.